Hey crafty friends, it's Rick. I'm back with another video. For Missing Stamps, today we are going to be using I'm going to share inspiration for the new 4x4 Thank You Stencil, which is called, this month it's called Paw Heart. You can see it right there. It's beautiful little paw-filled hearts. I think this would be great for sympathy, pet sympathy cards. We're also going to be using the free Purchase Stencil, which is this for June, is called Art Deco. You can see that it's all nice and Art Decoed up. You can see that right there. You can get this one with any $50 or more purchase before shipping and taxes. We're also going to be using the Big Paw stencil. I'm going to use the Whodunnit Stamp Set. I'm going to use this little guy and two of the little chihuahuas for my Paw Heart card. And we're also going to be using my favorite, the Everyday Sentiment Stamp Set for our sentiments. We're going to start off by doing the Paw Heart card. So I'm going to pull in the supplies I have. We're going to start off with a piece of white cardstock. And this is cut at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to place my white cardstock on a sticky mat. I'm going to take my little stencil and place on top. And remember, you can get this stencil for Missing Stamps with any size order. We're going to be doing a little rainbow of the Paw Hearts. So for this, I'm going to use 3 different colors of ink. I got a red, a yellow, and a blue, our primary colors. So I'm going to start off with my lightest color first. We're going to start right on this section. And I'm going to blend right there with my yellow. If I need to add more ink, I can. Then I'm going to move over to my blue. I'm going to start over here. But I'm going to let these blend together, so we can get a green on this little side over here. I'll blend that up a little. I want a little bit more blue right there. And then for our red, let me get that ready. I'm going to start in the center here. And I'm going to blend it over to this side and let those blend together to make a purple. And we'll come back and blend over here and let these two blend to make an orange. All right, I'm going to pull that up. There is my rainbow of Paw Hearts. All right, for that layer, I've got my standard A2 top folding card base. I've got a piece of just copy paper that I'm going to use. It's just cut 4 by 5 1/4 so I can line everything up on there. I've got a piece of black cardstock that is cut at 4 by 4 inches. So we're going to layer this up together. So we'll just take a little liquid glue. I'll add that onto my little panel. Now that I'm looking at this, maybe I didn't cut that at 4 by 4. No, I cut it at 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. It's like, I didn't think that looked right. All right, we'll move that to the side. I'm gonna move my card base to the side. I've got a piece of brown cardstock that we're gonna add our paw stencil to, our big paws. Since we're gonna make a pet sympathy card, I'm gonna lay this on top. And then I've got a brown ink that we are going to use to stencil our paws on the background. It's going to be tone on tone. I'm going to peel my stencil back, and there is our tone on tone paws. We'll put this away. So there's that. And then I have my little pink strip, which is cut at 1 by 5 1/4. And this was 3 by 5 1/4, by the way. We're going to stamp our couple of our little puppies from our stamp set. We got our little Basset and we got our little Chihuahua. We're just going to use one of the Chihuahuas for this part. And actually, I'm going to start with him or her, whatever. We're going to take pink ink and we're going to do tone on tone stamping there. I'm going to do 3 to start with. I'll take my Basset Hound and we're going to add him on. Get him where I want him to be. And we're going to fill our rest of our cardstock up. We're creating our own little pattern paper with our little pets. That way everything matches. And if you're interested in the products I'm using, I have everything linked and listed in the video description below. You will always find those supplies listed below. All right, on my scratch piece of paper, I'm going to attach my images here. I'm going to line this up on this edge right over of our white piece of cardstock because I cut it at 4 by 5 1/4, so we're just going to line that up. Then we'll take our brown piece of cardstock and we're going to line this up. We're going to take that. We will add this to our card base. Just going to add that right on our card base there. Okay, that's good. Then we have our little focal image right there. And we're going to stamp our sentiment. So let's get that ready. And I'm going to use the sentiment that says, I'm here for you. I'm going to stamp it in my same brown ink that we used on our card. I'm going to trim this. And that's going to get layered onto here. And I'm going to pop it up. It's going to take a little foam tape. I will put behind my sentiment. We'll peel these backings off. Let's get our tweezers. I'm going to place that here. Then I've already stamped and colored my little puppies for our sympathy card. So I'm going to add foam tape behind them as well. I'm going to use my little Basset right here. Add a little piece behind our Chihuahuas. Add that one on this side. Then I'm going to attach this with liquid glue. We're going to put it right there. So there is our pet sympathy card. Now we're going to work on our other card. In this one, we're going to do a fun technique on the next one. We're going to do what they call the double vision technique. So I've got my stencil, the Art Deco stencil. I've got a piece of smooth white cardstock cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to place our Art Deco stencil on top. Remember, you can get this free with a $50 or more purchase from Miss Ink Stamps. We're going to use pink ink. And I'm just going to do the entire thing with this one color to make it easy. I'm going to let this get gradually lighter, I think. Over to the other side. I actually had someone ask me to demonstrate this technique, so this is why I decided this would be perfect to do it with. All right, we're going to peel back our Art Deco stencil and reveal our background. We're going to take this away. We are going to need a trimmer. And we're going to trim this at every 1/2 inch. So I've got that one. And we're going to keep these in order. So I'm going to cut it at every 1/2 inch. Because we want to put these back in position correctly. So we'll finish cutting these up. Make sure they're all staying the same. And the way they're supposed to go. So there's our stencil all cut apart. Now I've got a piece of pink cardstock cut at 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to attach each section. So I'm going to start off with attaching my first piece right to the edge of our pink panel. And it's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Same size as our piece we just cut apart. So there's that. This one I'm going to put into place. I'm just going to line it up. I'm going to use that as a spacer right now. So then I'm going to take and go to my next one. I'm going to add liquid glue behind it. We're going to line it up. We can remove this one for now. We'll place this one down in position because that would be our next one. So we want to get that lined up. We'll take this, our next one, and we're going to attach it down. Make sure that's nice and in place. We'll line this one up. It's lined up. Our design pattern is in position. I'm going to put that one to the side. Then we will take and add this one. That's going to be our spacer. We've got our last. This one's going to get attached with liquid glue. We're going to pop it into place. Line it up. Make sure it's nice and lined up and straight. Then I can pop that out. All right, so the empty spaces. Now, this is what you're going to have at this point. The empty spaces, we're going to place these back in. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop them up. So we're going to use just some thin foam tape or foam squares. We're just going to take foam squares. And I'm going to take each one. You could use foam tape if you want to, which probably would actually be a little bit easier in a sense. We're just going to pop these on. We're going to do this for each one. Peel these backings off. My tweezers. I'm going to add liquid glue to each of those. I'm going to turn this to the side. And I'm going to line this into place in our opening. Make sure we get that lined up. All right, we'll go ahead and add foam squares. We get these backings off. Add liquid glue. Add our next strip in to our opening where it's supposed to go. We'll do our next two, and we will come up with our sentiment for this one. We'll add liquid glue. We'll take our next strip. our last panel, we're going to add liquid glue to our foam squares. Make sure I have this turned the right direction. Add this on. That lined up. All right, so there is our double vision panel. Now we need a sentiment. So we're going to take our everyday sentiment set. And we're going to make this a birthday card. So I'm going to take happy birthday. I'm going to stamp that a second time on the other end. That way it's a little bit better. All right, I've already trimmed down my little happy birthday sentiment. We're going to pop this right on here. But what we're going to do to make it where that is not even, we're going to pop on a couple of foam squares right where our sentiment would go. We're going to add a little liquid glue here. We're going to do our little happy birthday right down there. We're going to keep this pretty simple since we want that stenciled background to be our main focal panel. All right, so we've got our sentiment on there. Let's make sure that's nice and straight. We're going to take our panel. We're going to add liquid glue behind it so that we can attach it to our card front. All right, so here is our double vision card. You can see how that pops up in the center and it gives that illusion, and there's why it's called that. So we'll go ahead and pull in our first card that we made together today, our little Pet Sympathy card. Here is a look at both of the cards that we made together in this video. Here's a look at our Pet Sympathy card. I'll hold that closer to the camera for you. Using the June Paw Heart Thank You Stencil, 4x4 Thank You Stencil for missing stamps. And then here is our double vision card with the Art Deco free with purchase stencil for missing stamps for the month of June 2026. If you like this video, you're probably going to like the one coming up right over there. I'll see you in that video. Bye guys, stay crafty, love you.